All right, ladies and gentlemen,
here we go.
We're off to a start here. Once again, my name is Southern Kip, and joining me tonight is Stump on commentary. Stump, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. So we have a matchup here between Dred and Flop, both with 4-digit numbers at the end of their names, which is sort of interesting, and should be a really interesting matchup. Dred is actually one of our top any percent runners. I think he's currently ranked in the top 30. So he's a very, very fast 80% runner. Flop also has a pretty solid time in the 50s. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two adapt their skill set to the rando setup.
All right, both are on their way down the Red Star elevator, and we're about to see what that first item is going to be.
Morph Ball. So as everyone knows, the logic of the current randomizer for the tournament changed fairly recently within the last few weeks. And now you basically see Morph Ball pretty much guaranteed in the first two items. So not super surprised to see Morph Ball. We'll find out here in just a minute what is in the ceiling panel for the other major item before they head back up the elevator. A reserve tank. Interesting.
Starting with those useful items.
That's right. Dred managing to get the reserve after his second attempt. Flop waiting on the secondary creature to come over. I wonder if he'll opt to skip the reserve here since he didn't get it, because he'd have to reset the room and it's not exactly the most valuable. Yeah, he's opting to skip it, looks like. Also interesting to note that a power bomb pack was not found in the first two minor items, so that means that they are unable to, if they wanted to, they are unable to go to Green Hills directly to the left of the Morph Ball location. And they also will not be able to get the minor item that is below Mother Brain's tank right there. So as of right now, at least for the next 45 seconds, Dred will be able to run straight any percent. Very nice climb.
And this means that the bomb Chorizo item is going to need to be something that can break bomb blocks. But which item that will be, well, we're about to see.
Attack. Although it'd be really fun to see speed right here.
Oh, it very much would.
Ooh.
I like seeing early speed.
I do as well. So Screw Attack, I think, our commentary role here, we're going to try to provide as much insight as possible, especially for those that might not be as familiar with the randomizer. Getting Screw Attack early is a great opportunity to go straight to Gauntlet and potentially check the Gauntlet location for a major item, and it looks like Dred is going to opt to do that. I would assume that he will likely save beforehand just to be careful.
Yeah, it's a very difficult area.
It is, and it's easy to die, so you don't want to just straight lose 4 minutes right off the bat. But it looks like Flop's skipping.
Yeah, going straight to the Terminator major item, which is Grapple.
Stump, what do you think about finding Grapple so early? Like, when you see Grapple early on, what do you think? Because I know that, like, for some people, when they see an item like that, even if they don't get Speed Booster or something, they sometimes will opt to go to Wreck Ship early.
Yeah, that is a definite possibility that it opens.
And I believe it also will allow you to get fairly easily over to the item in X-ray.
Right.
So we'll see what he does with the grapple beam here in a little bit. Dred managing to get into the gauntlet, being very patient, not to get got right there.
Another thing about grapple coming up is, that's one less other item to locate should Suitless Meridia end up being needed.
True. It looks like Dred has been rewarded here with his find. The unfortunate thing is that he will not be able to go get the minor items over to the left of where he got the major because he has no power bombs. But the combination of screw attack and space jump is a very, very potent combination, which will make a lot of things very easy in these randomizers. I mean, having both of those items within the first 6 minutes is very powerful.
Yeah, there's quite a lot that you can very easily get through with that pair of items.
And looks like Flop was able to find the high jump boots, and that is an excellent, excellent item to get, especially early on. I think the main reason it's so powerful is because unless you are familiar with running like a low percent category, you just really get used to having high jump boots, and your overall movement is kind of determined by what that brings to the table. So it makes runners a lot more comfortable with moving throughout the rest of the run when they get it early like that. Stump, I don't know about you, but every time I get to Lower Norfair and I don't have high jump boots, it's always a bad time.
Yeah, especially Worst Room.
Yeah. You have to modify so many of your strats.
Since some power bombs came up in early Super's room, we're about to see another major item.
Only an E-Tank. So now Dred has the ultra-powerful combination of high jump boots, space jump, and screw attack before he's even killed a single boss. I'm sure he'll make great use of that throughout the rooms. So Dred now cleaned up every item that he could get in first Brinstar room there, and he will go down to check where he will find an E-Tank. Flop grabbing another minor item in the pink room here with another powerbomb pack, so he has 15, which is really nice. Having at least 10, but especially 15 so early without bombs is really helpful.
Also, Flop now has enough minor items to Crystal Flash.
Correct. Flop, there is a
now,
setup.
Flop's got to do this reverse Green Gate glitch here, and it's
there we go.
With high jump,
it's easier, but there's a setup for it, and he chose not to go with that setup. But hey, Ice Beam, how powerful is the seed?
Yeah, this is a lot of good items very early. And Ice Beam's particularly either it or Speed Booster is needed.
Dred also opting to grab the minor up there, so he'll have his third powerbomb pack. We have an energy tank at charge location. At this point, I would assume that Flop will just head to Crate.
Well, with this amount of
he could go to Wreck Ship, I guess, technically.
well, that we could see Wreck Ship right away.
I would just think, unless a player is incredibly experienced with new route or a low percent category, he skipped the early reserve, so he only has one E-Tank, and he only has grapple. I mean, he could definitely get to Wreck Ship, but it seems like a bit of a risky play, so it looks like he's heading down here. And opting not to use his grapple beam to check X-Ray. We will see if Dred chooses to go that direction and check it or not.
Well, with Space Jump and Screw Attack, I would think so.
Yeah, I would probably check it anyway, but I'm kind of, I like to check everything that I can possibly get to while I'm close to it, so it just kind of depends. Flop could also just be taking a calculated risk, because if it turns out that nothing good is in the X-Ray spot, then he would have saved a good bit of time by not checking it.
Another E-Tank at Spazer.
Dred, unfortunately, heading down to Waterway, but he does not, unless I'm mistaken, have Speed Booster. So he will not be able to get the item that's down there unless there's some kind of special method that I'm unaware of.
I'm not aware of such a method.
Yeah, and that it looks like he just realized it and he's going to head back out now. But that didn't really take too much time. Okay, Flop now heading to Craig.
And there you can see Ice Beam sometimes can get in the way.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, especially, when you, I would say at least most of the people in this tournament have at least some experience in any percent. And when you're running early game and you have an item you don't normally have, a lot of times you kind of fall back on your normal methods. So it's kind of interesting when you have something like ice and it actually gets in your way.
Right.
So Kraid now coming up.
Ready for the Kraid quick kill.
And Dred opting to go to X-Ray. So we should have two items here fairly shortly. Hopefully Dred will be very careful here. Oh, looks like Kraid has managed to muscle his way into the prom. Ready to have a good time here. Hopefully Flop can make quick work of it. Spring Ball.
A great item.
Well, the interesting thing about Spring Ball is, and I'll be completely honest, I haven't ran very much 100%, and so the vast majority of my experience in this game hasn't really utilized many Spring Ball strats. But it can be incredibly useful in these randos, because if you get it early and you don't have bombs, there's a lot of places where you can use a lot less power bombs to get where you need to go. I guess that advantage is a little bit mitigated here, considering that they got so many power bombs early in the run.
Well, it also opens up the possibility of spring ball jumping.
Correct. Very nice. Which will help in a lot of spots, especially if they end up having to do a suitless Meridia attempt. Which I'm going to go on record real quick and say that I'm scheduled to commentate for these 3 races, or however many there are in this matchup. The last two matches that I provided commentary for both ended up being suitless Meridia. And so I'm just going to apologize in advance. If this is a suitless Meridia attempt, it is very clear that I should never provide commentary again, just to protect the runners.
But suitless Meridia is always interesting to watch.
It really is.
Looks like Flop got X-ray on the way out of Crade.
He did. Also, one minor change to the randomizer that some people might not be aware of. You'll notice that in normal vanilla Super Metroid, there is a major item before high jump boots here. There was an E-tank. For the purposes of this randomizer, that has become a minor item, and another major item has been moved to wreck ship. So in the room just to the right of Phantoon, where a super missile pack used to be, there is now a major item, so that there will be 4 major items in the wreck ship.
Alright, Dred in the Crade fight now. And Flop saving, so it looks like I think Flop might be about to do some hell running.
Yeah, he would. I was gonna say I would imagine he'll start with the ice beam, but without speed boost, have to get the mock ball here. Okay, very nice. So for anybody just joining us, it looks like Dred and Flop have basically taken similar paths. So Dred is slightly behind, but he has the extra advantage of having space jump, which Flop does not. Dred went to Gauntlet first, and he also checked X-ray where he found Spring Ball. So he currently has 2 items, 2 major items that Flop does not.
And Flop did the Ice Beam Hell Run, and it turned out to be an E-tank.
So Stomp, let me ask you a question, because, you know, there's never necessarily a right or wrong, it just depends on the runner. If you have this many E-tanks this early and you're in this spot, do you go ahead and Hell Run, or do you opt to just head to wreck ship?
With this many E-tanks, I would be Hell Running, getting the rest of the major items in Upper Norfair.
Yeah, because if you can make it through the Hell Run, you have an opportunity at 5 different major items if you decide to also kill Crocomire and go to grapple. But I guess it just depends on the runner. Look, wow, they're frame for frame now. Dred opting not to head down to Upper Norfair, and I would assume he's going to head to wreck ship, so I guess they're both going to the same place. Dred's showing off some very nice control of Samus here. Gotta be careful with that screw attack. It's easy to kill those ledges. Flop now heading over to the X-ray item, where he will find Spring Ball, and as you can see, he can't move quite as fast as Dred did through this room because he only has grapple. Remember that Dred found Space Jump in the Gauntlet area. Dred now opting to get some more minor items.
Checking the other minor item behind that one, which turned out to be supers.
Always feels good to find more supers until you find Charge Beam. Definitely, for me, the magic number is at least 30 because, you know, that makes killing Ridley very, very fast. But usually I collect as many supers as I can get until I find Charge Beam.
Yeah, I always do too. You don't know if you will find it. And if you don't, you need at least 12 packs of them.
Yeah, especially for Mother Brain later, which, you know, most people don't prefer to have to fight Mother Brain with missiles, but it does happen. Luckily, they already have Ice Beam, and so even if they don't find speed, they have a way to do pretty, you know, normal Zeb skip.
Space jump is gonna make Dred have a easy time getting into wreck ship. Flop's either gonna have to grapple or make some fairly or make some tight jumps.
Yeah, which makes it a lot more difficult. I was just about to say, for somebody of Dred's caliber, you know, he has such a fast 80% time. He has like a 45 PB. I wonder if runners like that, when they get space jump so early, are just like, oh baby, this is about to be so easy. Because that's something you normally only get near the end if you run old route.
Alright, Dred in the Fantoon fight. Where we'll see what type of patterns happen. Flop grappling into the ship. And looks like that's a slow pattern for Dred, but lots of missile drops.
Very unfortunate that Flop fell in the water. Eating up some time there. Nice kill by Dred.
Very good Fantoon fight. And that will make 3 more major items accessible for Dred.
And there's the high five.
4 if one of them happens to be Speed Booster.
That's true. Yeah, that's the one risky thing about coming to wreck ship. Well, it's not necessarily risky, but looks like Dred forgetting he has Spring Ball here. But when you don't have speed, you're actually you can only have access to 3 of the major items here, as Stump was pointing out. So if he doesn't find speed in the next 2 or 3 spots here, he won't be able to get that 4th one. Ooh. Plasma.
Oh. Another really nice item to have. Massive increase to the beam damage.
Definitely. Even if you never find charge, having plasma can definitely make a lot of the rooms easier in different places, especially lower North Air.
Yeah. Also, well, charge coming up before Meridia too, but
correct.
Although given that both of them have X-ray, charge coming up before Meridia will make those fights more interesting in a different way.
That's true. Dred opting not to save before attempting the spiky room of death, but he manages it with absolutely no issue whatsoever. And he will now head up to the wreck ship energy tank location and see what he can find up there. Just an E-tank. Flop, unfortunately, accidentally firing 3 missiles into Fantoon right there. I'm sure he was trying to fire off a super to finish the fight, but there he goes. Fantoon down. And Dred will now make his way up. I would assume he's probably going to go check gravity. The good news about Spring Ball is that Spring Ball makes it very easy to check what that item will be at the reserve spot. Even if you don't have speed, you can't get it. The Spring Ball will allow him to jump very quickly over the columns and then lay a power bomb or use X-ray to see what's in there. and everybody's favorite addict strategy, screw attack and space jump, makes it pretty easy to manage.
Yep, definitely a good addict strat when it's possible to do that. And Dred's gonna check what that item is that he might have to go back with Speed Booster for, but it's just an E-Tank.
This is very good in terms of just being easier for the runners. It would be a nightmare if both of them came up here without Speed Booster and that ended up being, you know, Varia or Gravity or something like that. So
or Charge.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Another lack of usage of the Spring Ball.
In Dred's
Also,
defense, it's easy to
checking the
forget.
item. It is easy to have Spring Ball when you're in this part of the map because you never would normally have it.
Right. And Dred is a primarily any percent runner, if I'm not mistaken. So sometimes you'll see the guys that run 80% a little bit more kind of forget about Spring Ball because it just never comes up in their runs.
I also meant to say something that we saw during that item check. X-ray actually being used for its intended purpose.
Sure was. Looks like Flop just took a death. And very unfortunate. Where was his last save? Did he save before he went in there? Okay, very good. Okay, so Wreck Ship was basically the only, you know, really good item that was in Wreck Ship was Plasma. There were 3 other E-Tanks there. So now Dred will have to make his way. It looks, Stump, it looks like we have a guaranteed heated run coming our way.
Yeah, we...
Ooh, Flop having trouble again.
We likely do. Ooh.
So,
Certain death.
shout outs to all you RBO fans out there. We got some heated hell runs going on here.
Yeah, you're seeing why that room is called Spiky Death Room.
Indeed.
Not even Varia's suit. That's gonna mean that those falling spike platforms are doing 2 entire tanks of damage.
Oh. The really super unfortunate thing about this is that when he finally gets over there, it's only going to be an E-Tank. Which obviously, if he knew that that's what it was, he wouldn't attempt to go over there. But at this point, you know, you just never know what it is, so he feels the need to check. Yeah. Oh, he's going to give up on it.
Yeah. If he go and get to the E-Tank, I was wondering if we were going to see a tactical reset.
Yeah, I was wondering that too, to be honest.
Alright, Dred. Here comes the hell running.
Nailing the mock ball instantaneously. He's going to get up here only to find an E-Tank, if I recall correctly. But that will still help the hell run. Really want to point out that Dred has some superb movement. There's obviously a lot of good players in this tournament, and it's not just about pure speed running in terms of, like, you know, any percent strats or whatnot, but you can always tell when you have a runner who's kind of near the top of some of the categories because their movement just looks absolutely crisp, and he's doing a really good job.
There's that Ice Escape mock ball setup.
right, Flop getting ready to go bowling here. Another spot where having space jump really made things faster for Dred. Flop opting to use the grapple beam to conserve some energy. And ladies and gentlemen, it's now time. There's nowhere else for Dred to check. It's time for a heated run. And off we go. X-ray. So unfortunate. Space jump making some of these rooms incredibly easy to get through.
That second and third room, your jump movement for those is really tricky to get exactly right.
I think Dred is making a wise choice here. It's always better to be safe than sorry, taking about 10 seconds to get a save in before he has to do more hell runs. Keep in mind that a lot of players will opt to avoid hell runs if at all possible, simply because even if you have a lot of health, you usually still have to farm for just about every major item that you go check. So this is time that they would not have to spend, obviously, if they had Varia.
Yeah, well, for items that are farther away, like Speed Booster, a Bubble Mountain save opens up the possibility of tactical resets, too.
That is
if the item doesn't turn out to be worth it.
That's true. Although I would say with speed, it's, I guess, maybe about a 50-50 proposition, because when you're done with speed, you're just so close to wave beam location. And look at that, speed booster, add speed booster.
And what speed?
Which means we get rising lava hype. Something you won't always get in this location in a randomizer. Flop now heading out of wreck ship. Gonna make his way over back to Norfair. One thing that Dred could do to potentially make this faster, he doesn't have bombs, which is one of the faster ways to farm these. He could opt to take his ice beam off, or he could opt to just use grapple beam. Probably would be just slightly faster in terms of the farm, but he's getting geared up to now go check, I would assume, wave. We'll see what he opts to do.
I don't think grapple would work well with there being multiple enemies.
You think it'd be even worse than freezing them and having to shoot a second time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's find out what we're going to have in wave location here. Ooh.
Nice.
Well, I just want to go on record as saying that I am relieved to know that my runs that I commentate on are no longer cursed. We will not be having a suitless Meridia.
Looks like Flop. Soon going to acquire space jump.
Also, Dred opting not to check the reserve spot. It looks to me like he's just going to skip the other 3 items in Norfair, and it looks like he's going to head straight to Meridia.
Actually, this week in one of the races I had, I forgot to check that reserve tank, and it turned out to be Varia.
Oh no!
I was very sad when I found that out.
So you just accidentally like skipped over it? Stop! Did you just like accidentally skip over it, like you just forgot it was there?
I forgot that I hadn't checked it.
Yeah, that happens in randomizers pretty frequently, actually. Okay, right. What are we gonna see here?
And what Mama Turtle's guarding will be any tank.
But, you know, it actually kind of works out. It's not a bad refill there for Dred. So.
Yeah, that health, definitely good to get that.
Dred successfully making it out without waking up Mama Turtle there.
For opening that door in the ceiling, it can feel a little odd to not be able to get that from standing right there because you're so used to having wave there from vanilla.
You know, that's funny. I was just thinking about that as well. It's really interesting what happens when you're just so accustomed to doing things a certain way, and then you have to change.
Dred checking the minor items of Aqueduct, but not getting them.
And looks like his ammo's healthy.
That had come up.
He's got plenty of supers here, so shouldn't have any trouble in terms of soft locking.
Fall back on too. Although we'll definitely see, from Dred, some very good super missiling.
Absolutely. Making quick work of Bot Twin.
Yeah, but ammo is the one thing.
Oof.
Being in... Oh, there's Varia. About the Batoon fight without charge.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Dred is officially in... Basically, he's in go mode, except for one more thing. He either needs to have charge, or he needs to find enough ammo to dispose of Mother Brain 1 and Mother Brain 2. We'll probably... I'm sure most of the commentators will mention this in every matchup just to make sure everybody's aware, but you know, without charge, you're going to need to do, I believe, 18,000 damage to Mother Brain 2, 3,000 damage to Mother Brain 1, but you'll also need 6 missiles to break the glass. So it's really kind of like 3,600. So currently, with supers being worth 300 each and regular missiles being worth 100, Dred is a good deal away from being able to do that. So we'll see how he manages that, depending on what he comes across. Flop heading to Suitless Meridia?
Yep.
I'm not 100% sure. I guess maybe he was worried about the Hell Run, possibly?
Possibly. And the good speed booster Dragon kill.
Yes, I see you guys in the chat. I did promise that this would not be a suitless Meridia seed. Unfortunately, it looks like it has turned into that. I can understand Flop's reasoning, though. If he's worried about a hell run, this would be the only other place he could go. And especially if he feels comfortable doing this setup, then I certainly don't blame him. Unfortunately, Dred accidentally grabbing the Spazer after he already had Plasma, which if you're unaware, Spazer will then override Plasma, and you will have to pause it and re-equip Plasma.
And using the spark from that blue suit to get reverse Happy.
Well done.
Dred's gonna probably be checking some more Meridia items.
Yeah, it looks like he's heading to Sand Pit here. Disposing of that snail.
And Flop still trying to set that jump up. Looks like there it is. Another possibility would have been to spring ball jump.
That is true. Just an E-tank in the sand. So, look, I would assume that at this juncture, Dred will probably just make his way down to Norfair, and he will either opt to check the 3 items that he has not checked yet, or he will just go straight to Lower Norfair and kill Ridley. He has plenty of ammo to do that even without charge, and he has both suits, so he should have no problem getting into... Well, he has both suits and space jump, so he should have no problem whatsoever getting into Fair. Oh, Flop. That's the danger. I mentioned this in my previous race. The danger of using Plasma with ice to freeze the enemies in a suitless Meridia attempt is sometimes Plasma can do more damage than you intend or hit the creature more than you intend to. And every time you kill one of those creatures, you have to reset the room. It's very unfortunate.
Oh, looks like Dred's going straight to Lower Norfair.
I think that's a good play, in my personal opinion, because if charge is down there, he'll find it, and if it's not, he can always opt to check those other items he hasn't yet when he gets done. And this is one of those moments where I've done this many, many times. Once again, he forgot that he had Spring Ball, and instead of not using it to help him, it actually almost messed him up right there. I can't tell you how many times I've attempted a mock ball or something like that with Spring Ball and then just got wrecked.
Yeah, that's definitely a...
I think we just saw that happen again. And I guarantee you he's turning off Spring Ball. There it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the what I like to refer to as the any % love for Spring Ball. I do that exact thing just about every time I find Spring Ball in a randomizer.
Right, here's the green gate glitch to see what's at screw attack.
Oh, too bad. One thing to note about the room that Dred just left, it's the perfect place to farm up supers. if you need them, because those rippers all drop supers. No need for a fast pillars attempt because we have screw attack and space jump. Looks like Dred forgetting that screw attack could bust those blocks, but I don't blame him because normally when he gets here, he would have to use a power bomb there.
Dred nicely making it through worst room in the game due to screw attack making it not really bad.
Okay, Flop's still trying to make his way up in Meridia. Back-to-back reserves. Wouldn't it be funny, Stump, if Ridley's item was also the last reserve, or have we seen the 4th reserve yet?
I think... Have we seen all of... I think we've seen 2 reserves other than these.
Okay, I remember the one from the beginning, but I don't remember where the second one was.
I know there definitely was another one.
Dred, again, I think making a smart decision here, even though he's got plenty of health and ammo. You know, this is a spot where if you just made several mistakes, you could die, so he wants to make sure that he doesn't give the game away. Flop now back in Kraid's lair. Not 100% sure what he's doing here. Refilling, I guess.
Wonder if Flop's farming supers.
Maybe. I guess he just wanted that.
And
refill.
using the health refill here.
Dred with the KO, getting ready to fight the ninja pirates. Looks like Dred's starting the process now of farming for supers. That would be my assumption. This is the one spot where I really love having grapple, because when you're trying to farm for the supers, grapple makes it incredibly easy in this spot. Like, it's basically an RBO strategy. It's something that is utilized in every RBO run. So it would definitely be quicker here for him to simply grapple the left and the right side as the bugs come up, but this is a perfectly fine method as well. There he goes. Just got to find the right rhythm for it.
Yep. Yeah, with the right spawn rhythm there, grapple farming here can be very efficient.
Absolutely. And we've got Flop now, finishing his hell run and made it into Bubble Mountain. We still don't actually know what's in the reserve tank spot, I don't think, Stump. I don't believe Dred went back and checked it, has he?
No.
So we might get a little surprise here in just a second.
It could be charge, it could be wave, it could be bombs.
That's true.
Or it could be any tank.
Yeah. All right, let's see how Dred performs here with the Ridley fight. Missed a few supers at the start. Just as a quick reminder, supers do double damage to Ridley, so 600, and the magic number is 30. So for every super that a player misses against Ridley, that's 6 regular missiles that are required to cover that one super. So it's very important to be careful with those supers when you're fighting Ridley, especially if you only have 30 of them. I would assume that Dred's getting close here. If that's not enough damage, he'll have to go. All right, very good. I was going to say he's going to have to use the power bombs if he ran out there. E-Tank.
And what'll be behind here? Alright. Yeah, not a particularly useful item at this point.
Yeah, Lower Norfair really was pretty much bone dry. It's kind of funny. Wreck Ship and Lower Norfair combined only had plasma, and other than that, just E-Tanks or reserves. So, looks like other spots in Meridia, or maybe even the reserve section of Norfair might have charge, although I guess no player has checked Waterway yet either, have they?
No.
Very nice speedball at Wasteland for Dred there.
Oh, there's the gravity suit for Flop.
I hope Flop goes to check the, Oh, I think Dred actually went to spring ball right there and had already turned it off, so I've had that happen to me too. It's like you have it and then you turn it off and then you forget you turned it off.
No, Flop not checking the reserve tank either.
Wow, maybe we'll never find out what's in there.
And also not checking Croc. Or just farming power bombs? No, not. Flop on probably gonna do Meridia now. Because gravity.
Yeah, looks like he's making the same play that Dred did earlier. This is really interesting. They basically have taken very, very similar paths outside of Flop's detour into Meridia before he had gravity. So at this point, Dred needs to find Charge Beam or enough minor items to kill Mother Brain 1 and 2. And so now he's going to start looking.
Considering that Dred skipped so many minor item locations lately, definitely Dred's going for charge.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing too is, everybody has to remember that the players have no idea how the other person's performing. There's the reserve. So that should be the final reserve, but you never know how your opponent's doing, so you might feel like, oh, I gotta hurry up, but Dred has a very, very significant lead right now. He could walk around and collect a bunch of minor items and still be pretty far ahead, so we'll see how long it takes. Are we going to get some Crocomire hype?
That's what we're about to do. Yep. Down to Croc we go. Without wave, this is going to involve glitching this gate.
He also needs to be careful. He could technically soft lock in there, or at least have a hard time. He needs to have enough ammo to kill Crocomire. And now, after missing a few supers, probably going to have to refarm once he opens this gate. Oof, unfortunate there. For the record, it is possible to glitch the blue gates with a regular missile, but usually still a lot easier with a super. Looks like Dred is going to opt to forgo that. And maybe, I don't know if he's going to go around or if he's just going to head up. Looks like he's going to forgo it. Oh, no, he's not. He is going to go the ice way.
Flop grabbing the aqueduct miner items in preparation for Buttwoon.
Fortunately, he does not have a super. He'll farm 2 from the Cax, but again, very smart decision to save here because if you look at his supers, he only has 2. Oh.
That is a lot of missiles, though.
It is, but again, it's all about, I guess, being careful. I've noticed that sometimes the hitbox on Croc can be a little tricky with some of the missiles. Luckily, these Cax drop supers about like 99-point-something%, I believe.
Yep. Alright, into the fight Dred goes. There's Vario for Flop.
Very nice job by Dred. Boom.
And this item will be... There it is. Dred's now all set.
So I think clearly the play now is, I think he needs to scour the rest of the whole map to try to find Wave before he goes to Torian.
Alright, Flop in the Dragon fight. Yep, Dred out and off in the direction of Torian. Looks like Flop's going to be doing the grapple kill.
Oh, unfortunately, Dred does not have a super, so he's going to have to go back down to farm these Cax. And I think he's going to need only one more for the green gate at the top of Meridia. So he should have no problem. Well, he accidentally co-jacked that one, but there will be some bugs he can farm before that green gate, so it'll be okay.
Dred could also go up Red Tower.
He could. I would assume he probably won't, though, because I believe it's faster to just do like the any % old route method of getting out of here. It's almost like he's escaping Lower Norfair now and would probably just opt to go up Meridia. But we'll see. Yeah, that seems like the most standard thing. And I'm sure that's the thing he's most comfortable with, running so many 80% runs.
Since Flop headed through Cacatac Alley, I wonder if Flop's checking plasma.
Yeah, certainly looks like it. Well, Stump, what's your prediction for plasma? All we got left is bombs, wave, and I guess a few more E-tanks. So what do you think it'll be?
I'm thinking that this turns out to be bombs.
I was just going to say the same thing. Oh boy.
Oh, an
So many.
E-tank. Well, does that leave anything other than spring ball and grapple for what we haven't seen yet?
We have spring ball. I think it's just
I meant
bombs
what's that
and wave,
spring
yeah.
ball? Shack tool
I
item.
see. Yeah. I believe so. We've got Shack Tool, spring ball location, and then below charge.
Oh yeah, that's a thing too.
So definitely getting our money's worth in this run. We got to see a lot of the major item locations checked. And Dred, obviously, you know, really far ahead here because Flop is now going to make his way down to Lower Norfair. But assuming Dred doesn't have any kind of interesting things happen, he should be able to clean up Mother Brain without too much issue. Are we about to get some spring ball hype? Stump, I think we just got to sit here and let the chat enjoy this. What do you say?
Yeah, I think so too. And not sure why power bombing those Metroids.
Well, if he accidentally got one stuck on him, then that's the only way to get him off because he doesn't have bombs.
Oh right. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, get hype. We got Shack Tool on the screen right now. This is not something you're going to see in every single run. What's it going to be back here? Bombs.
I have the feeling.
That's what it was. Opting not to get it. Feels bad, man. Checks spring ball, doesn't get the item.
And Flop made Jack Tool dig out all of that sand to not get the item.
Dred facing right, saving a few frames. Sam is feeling reflective tonight, thinking about her past. Let's see if Dred remembers that he doesn't have wave. So it's pretty difficult to freeze the Rinka there when you have plasma but not wave. I would say the easiest thing to do there would either be to equip Spacer and get underneath, or just equip Ice alone and get underneath. But luckily he's got charge, so he can just kill the Zebs here and make short work of Mother Brain. And he's not in any danger at all since he has charge. Always a pleasure to enjoy, in my opinion, some of the best final boss music in any video game. Really fits the mood.
It really is. Nicely done boss music. Narrowly dodging that catch-up. Flop and Croc soon gonna have charge.
Dred gonna have to take a little bit more damage here before Mother Brain is finished. And to go along with the music, one of the most iconic moments, especially of the 16-bit era, but I would argue of really just gaming in general. This is always, I think for everybody who experiences this moment for the first time, it's a bit of a surprise and a really cool way to end the game.
Dred and Mother Brain 3. Flop starting lower in warfare.
Dred finally locating the Rainbow Beam location. And will now make his exit.
Yeah, very nice Mother Brain 3.
Got the swag 3 minutes there. Flop making his way through Amphitheater.
Flop heading down without checking Firefly tank. Dred through escape room 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, looks like match number 1 between Dred and Flop will go to Dred. Congratulations to him on taking down the first match of the series.
Nice run, Dred. And looks like Flop has forfeited. So now we'll get ready for race number 2.
That's right. So we will take a short hiatus here and allow the runners to get set up, but Stump and I will be back right after this. Stick around, guys.
Alright, hello again, Speed Gaming. Dred and Flop are just about ready for their second race of this match. In a little bit, we should have the second race going.
Yes, very excited for race number 2. Want to give a quick shout out to Typo for running the tracker for us in the last match. This match, our tracker will be DJ Majet. So thank you to both of those guys for putting in the work there. Also, as always, want to give a shout out to Feasel for everything that he does to help run these streams.
Alright, the race countdown has started.
All right. Stump, what's it going to be this time? We know we're going to get the, morphing ball. What's our second major item going to be at the start?
I want to say morph ball.
Well, I mean, other than morph ball, what do you think the other one's going to be?
Oh, I said wave and first.
Oh, wave. I'm sorry, my bad.